Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Valentina and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you're new, I just want to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And now let's get started with this video. As you saw in the title, I want to talk today about a very interesting topic, and it is how to shop with intention. I feel like we live in a world where we are receiving so many ads and sales and promotions and things every single day on social media, when we're driving, if we're listening to the radio or a podcast. Like, we are constantly bombarded with ads, and we're always listening that we have to buy this or that to be happy. Of course, having our own things is nice, and things can help us be more happy and can help us have a more productive or meaningful life. But in general, we don't need most of the things we buy and we spend money on. I think living with less sometimes make us feel more grateful for what we have, and we actually value the things we own and the experience we have. So here are my tips for shopping with intention. Number one, have a list of things you want and a list of things you need. Keep both of this list in your notes app, in your phone, or in a notebook that is always right next to you that you can go to when you are thinking about like going somewhere to shop, and it will make the shopping process a lot easier and a lot more clear. When you have a list of all the things you actually need, once you go to the store, you'll just stick to that list and you'll spend a lot less money. And if you stick to the list, you will not buy things you don't need in your life. And for the want list, this list will help you realize with time what things you actually want, because they will have a purpose in your life, instead of those things that you just added to the list in a moment of craziness because you felt like you needed something that you actually don't. Number two, and this is a very common one, but it is so important and you can actually see the difference when you do it, and it is not going grocery shopping if you're hungry. When you're hungry, you'll want to buy everything you see instead of buying the things you actually need for that week or those 2 weeks. Again, having a list and sticking to it helps, but if you're hungry and you see something that looks very appealing and delicious, you'll grab it and put it in the cart. Versus if you're not hungry, if you just had lunch, it's less likely that you grab that bag of chips or cookies or whatever it is that maybe you don't need. Number three, do your research before buying something. Make sure that that one thing that you're gonna buy is the best quality, the best price, and that it will actually last you for a long, long time. Make sure to buy things that will fulfill a need in the long term, instead of things that are just something you need in the moment, but maybe you won't use in the future. So again, doing your research will help you compare items from the same category and hopefully find the best option for you. Number four, avoid sales. Yes, I know sales are great. I know shopping something at a discounted price is amazing because we are saving money, which I'm all about. I want to save as much money as possible, but sometimes seeing a sale or seeing something on a sale will make us want to buy it even if we don't need it. So when you're buying something on sale, ask yourself, if that item was not on sale, would you still buy it? If that item was full price right now, would you still buy it? If the answer is no, then don't buy it, because it's probably something that you're buying just because you think you need it in a moment. Number five, choose quality over quantity or even over price. Sometimes we think the best option is to buy the cheapest that we can find. And in most cases, that's not correct. Sometimes cheap things can be really good in the moment because we saved a lot of money in the moment, but in the long term, we're gonna have to repurchase that same thing over and over again, and it's gonna be a lot more expensive than if we invested a little bit more money in that thing at the beginning. But if we're gonna invest money in something, that's what is important, to go back to one of my previous points and do our research to make sure we're buying something that is good quality, that will last us a long time, and that we will actually keep using over and over again. Number 6, less is more. And sometimes buying less will save us a lot of money. And when I wrote this one, I was thinking about places like Costco when you can buy a lot of things by a lot cheaper because you get 20 packs of napkins instead of one, which is fine. I think Costco is great if you have the storage space at your home. But for example, if you buy like a huge big pack of cheese, because it's cheaper if you compare the weight or the amount of cheese that comes in the package versus like one you can find at your local grocery store. Yes, it might be cheaper, but sometimes we buy so much of something that it ends up going bad. And that happens very often to all of us, so we're actually not saving money if that happens. So sometimes buying less will actually save us money. Number 7, create a budget. Yes, you know I'm all about budgeting. I'll leave you a link up here of like how I create my own budget on Excel and like my spreadsheet, and you can even download it for free. Obviously this is very personal, but I do recommend having a budget for each category of expenses in your life on a weekly or monthly or even yearly basis that you can go to and make sure you're sticking to that budget. If you don't have a budget, you're more likely to spend more money than you can on a category, versus if you take some time and make that budget, you know how much you can spend on each item you buy. And number 8, and I think this one is so important, and it is using what you have before buying a new item from that category. Sometimes we love accumulating and getting the same things over and over again, and we know once we run out of that Nutella, we're gonna go get another one. So why don't we just instead buy a huge container of Nutella? So again, the reason is it is more likely to go bad, and it's definitely not gonna be worth it. And this happens with so many items that we think are not gonna last us a lot longer, and we buy a new one without the actual thing we already have going bad or stop working or being completely useless. So let's just replace items instead of accumulating them. So yeah, that's it for today's video. It was a short one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.